substitute teacher, paraprofessional.
Returning as a substitute for us at the middle school.
Kylie Marie Williams, Abram Elementary School literacy paraprofessional.
Doing for us.
Okay. And 2025-2026 winter coach volunteer update. And then resignations. Brian Casey Chase, St. Mary's High School certified teacher, and Victoria Lynn Guthier, Hebron Elementary literacy paraprofessional, effective October 14th, 2025.
Move those as presented.
Is there a motion? Is there a second?
Second.
All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Abstain.
Yeah, for the coaches.
Good. All right, motion carries. Presentation agenda. Recognition of retirees, Casey Brady and Modesta Rios.
So we have two.
All the way
Casey, come
back
on in,
there.
Casey.
Just as a note, this was not a unanimous approved retiree.
Oh, but my grandkids are loving it.
You guys can shake Casey's hand. This is for her. This is made from our very own Doug. Piece of our pine and knotted pine, and it's for your 11 years of service. And we look at the high school and here with our student management services, if you will. Truly never underestimate the difference you've made in your life. And I know the best part and the hardest part was the baby.
The best part of it. But the hardest lesson was things from little, the big, you have to do that. And I still get some of that.
Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
And still, when we have student management pictures, you're just a phone call away, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Here, you go in the middle. Stand in the center.
So line up. Thank you.
And Modesto Rios couldn't be with us. She was our 5 years. She worked as our custodian up at Upriver. Many of you had a chance to know her. I was certainly blessed to get to know her. She's just impeccable and super hardworking. Takes pride in making sure that skill building was ready to go for the staff and kiddos. And her favorite part of the day was the kids. So we really appreciate, if you're listening, Modesta, for your 5 years of service to Upriver School staff and students.
All right, moving on to B, Hebron Elementary 5th grade presentations.
Good evening. As everyone said, the best part of the day is the students. I have brought 4 wonderful and outstanding young men who are here to present some of their work to you, and I'm going to let them introduce themselves and what they're presenting.
Good evening, members of the school board, teachers, and guests. My name is Kevin Keneally, and I'm a 5th grader here at Hebron Elementary. I'm excited to talk to you today about a very important day we observe in November, Veterans Day. Veterans Day is a special holiday celebrated every year on November 11th, which is tomorrow. It's a day when we as Americans stop to say thank you to all the men and women who have served in our country's armed forces. This last week, our 5th grade teachers asked us to complete an art assignment as well as a writing assignment to honor this special holiday. They wanted us to write a letter thanking veterans for their service to our country, as well as completing an art project. Since this is such a special holiday and some of you in this room are veterans, we wanted you to hear some of these letters from our fellow 5th grade students.
I'm Nico Smith, and this is my letter. Dear veteran, I'm writing to you to tell you how much I appreciate you and your service. I appreciate you because you're human, but not just any human. You're an outstanding human. You're an outstanding human because you devoted your time to protect and give me my freedom. Another reason you're an outstanding human is you're potentially sacrificing your life by protecting us. Also, thank you for your help in major wars such as World War II, Vietnam, Pearl Harbor bombing, September 11th, 2001 terrorist attacks, and for all of these reasons, I have the highest level of respect for you. Sincerely, Nico. It's my picture.
Nice.
I'm Hunter Flaylow, and I'm here today to read you my letter devoted to you. Dear veterans, I care about you with all my love. Thank you for all you did. You risked all you have, but you kept our dignity safe. Even if you were not drafted, you were ready for war. You were ready to risk it all for us. You are cared for and important to many lives. This is 4 reasons I care about you. Sincerely, Hunter.
My name is Bladen Dalkey, and I am here to read you my letter. Dear veterans, thank you for giving up your time with your family to protect us and our country. Next, thank you for your service and your many sacrifices. Lastly, thank you for risking your life for us and our country. Thank you for everything you did and continue to do. Sincerely, Bladen.
I'm Kevin, and I'm here to read you my letter. Dear Granddad, I'm writing you today to thank you for risking your life to save ours. You fought for our country, our lives, our flag. That is why I'm writing you today. Thank you for your service. You sacrificed your time with your family to protect us. I have so much gratitude I couldn't express it. Thank you so much. Sincerely, Kevin Keeley.
Thank you for listening to our presentation. If you have any questions, we are happy to answer them.
So are any of you boys thinking about joining the military? All right, we got one. Two. That's great. It's a real honor, being able to be a veteran, and something you won't get to experience if you don't try. There's a group of people that you'll get to meet, and they're like your brothers forever. Yeah, it's a real honor. Thanks for coming in.
I know it's not officially on our agenda, but I would like to honor the veterans that are here in this room. Can you all raise your hands if you were a veteran?
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
I don't know, veterans out there, if you know how much you mean to these kids. We were talking on Monday what the words to the Star-Spangled Banner meant, why we sing it and what it was about. And as I was talking to the whole 5th grade was together in the room, and the number of kids who raised their hand to tell me, my dad's a veteran, my mom's a veteran, my grandpa's a veteran, and they could tell me different places they served, different branches of the military. They are proud, and you are setting an amazing example for them, and they're sharing that with their classmates. So thank you from all of us at Hayburn.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
And tomorrow they're having a Veterans Day thing there at the Hayburn,
Yes.
starting just before lunch.
Well, veterans are coming to lunch and sort of touring the classroom with kids, and then 2 o'clock is our Veterans Day assembly.
Yeah, so if there's any veterans in here that want to go to that, definitely go to the assembly. It's great. The kids sing you all the military songs. It's amazing. Yeah.
You want to picture with the kids
Yeah, we better do that.
Good idea.
Yeah, that's wild. You guys, do we want to stand in front or stand back here with us?
Stand back here a little. Here, come right in front of us.
Thank you, boys. Good job.
I think that's the most I've ever heard Blake ever talk. I've been coaching for years, and he doesn't say a word. It's actually won't focus.
C, open forum, and we've only got one on here. Pete Durham. Pete, you got 5 minutes.
Oh, I only need about 10 seconds because I think my question is answered. My question was about the vacancy in Zone 5, and it looks like there's going to be somebody appointed tonight?
Correct.
Okay. That's it.
All right. Thanks, Pete. Easy. Thanks, Pete. Okay, D, patron Ray Wilson, Elks Lodge, 1418 annual hoop shoot.
So, we've been doing this I've been doing this for like 3 years now. We've always gone to Lewiston. So this year they decided that we were going to have it at Moscow. It'll be the 18th. So we will hold, with your permission, we would like to run it out of the middle school gym, and we would like to run it on the 11th, Sunday the 11th, starting at 12 and running till 2:30, 3 o'clock. I've already been in contact with Brian, and Coach Brian will be there with his team, now just like he always does. So it makes it so much easier. The kids are excited. The kids are ecstatic to meet the high school kids, so it's really fun. The other good news we have is that we will be holding state this year in Wallace, Idaho, not clear down in somewhere Boise.
Right.
So, yeah, it'll be a lot closer trip for us. What we do with this is, I'll give these to you, on the hand up. So basically, we have a local, which is the lodge. The lodge does ours, and they go to district. Okay, the district will be in Moscow. From district, they go to state. State this year is in Wallace. So we've had one young lady that has been to district 3 times and state 1. She's gonna go and make it. So I give those to you. The other thing is that the Elks puts out is we have handouts we say got grit. Okay? And that was a saying that the original person that started this said was kids who have grit actually go out and do something. And they compete. And by competing, they can win scholarships. That's what the whole big deal with Elk Hoop Shoot is. You get scholarships to go on. Okay? So I'll give those to you. And here are 3 copies of our insurance. And then lastly, I didn't want to put these together till I talked to you guys and Tana. You'll see these in the schools. Your kids will see these in the schools, okay? It'll have the date, and it'll have my contact. If they have any questions at all, have them call me or talk to somebody at the Elks Lodge. Your child must be the age before April 1st of 2026. If they turn over on that age, so we've actually had to kick one kid out 2 years ago that was just barely over that age. So April 1st, 2026, and we validate it every time we register the kid. So we don't let them go all the way through and say, oh my gosh, I'm going to state. Oh, this is so great. No. we validate them right here and make sure that they've got the birth dates correct, and then they go on. Now, the Elks Lodge will make reservations for Moscow, and we will pay for the kids going to Moscow. So when we'll have 6 kids going, 3 boys and 3 girls in the age group, and they go there for free. We'll give them Friday night lodging, and then hopefully they can win. And from that point forward, everything is paid for by the Elks Lodge. Okay? So it's basically a free way for kids to get a chance to get scholarships. They get 25 free throws. So if your kid's thinking about this, get them out to the court and start shooting free throws. Just shoot them and shoot them and shoot them and shoot them. Okay? Because that's all it takes, 25 free throws. All right? They shoot them in groups of 10, 10, and 5. Any questions from anybody?
What's the age group?
The age group is 8 to 9, 10 to 11, and 12 to 13.
Okay, so 8 to 13.
There's
Yep.
Is June going to be open on the 11th?
I would
On
imagine.
Sunday? Yeah.
I would imagine we'll fill out that facilities use agreement for him and the hoops event. Yep.
And Dr. Teresa, I just gave you the time, we have, the Elks supplies us with all of our research. So it
Yeah.
comes from national.
Yeah.
So we're all paid for.
Yeah. Every year. You don't fit in
Yep,
our
we
age
did
group.
it last year. We
You
did it.
can't fit.
Any other questions?
Play basketball. Anybody got any
Now
questions for
remember,
Ray?
these are free throws. You're not gonna run around and try and shoot. These are straight from the free throw line. So stand at the free throw line and shoot. Sir?
How much are the scholarships?
The scholarships vary. If they win nationals, it's full ride. Another thing, switch the Elks here. If you haven't joined the Elks, you might consider it just for the reason that if your child is in school and God forbid you pass away, the Elks Lodge, if they're in senior year in high school or in college, the Elks National Foundation picks up the tab for them to go through school. We had 3 girls go through school that way. One became a doctor. I forgot what the other 2 did then. They were paid for by the Elks Foundation. So, another plug for you. Anything else, guys?
I don't think so.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, Ray.
Right, thank you.
Okay, monthly building department reports. Number 1, Hayburn Elementary School strategic plan. Bridget.
A little taller than the 5th graders. Dr. Lynch has asked us to take a look at our data with you in our strategic plan, and this is really exciting because our teachers are doing amazing work and our students are doing some amazing learning, and I'm really proud of them. It's not easy, and elementary school is a lot. Like I read a meme once where 1st grade's just a lot. Like everybody's running around trying to learn how to add and read, and at the same time everyone's teeth are just falling out all over the place. So you just never know what's going to happen at Hayburn. But if you go to the next slide, Dr. Wrench, I've got some data from goals 1 and 2 looking at academic achievement in college and career readiness. So I'm really proud of these scores, and I'll tell you why. The ISAT is hard, and it is a very different type of test than what students are used to when they walk into it in 3rd grade and start figuring out in 3rd, 4th, 5th grade. It's still not real intuitive when you hit high school. So it's a tough test, and so our target was set for 33%, and we got up to 38%. So that is some pretty good growth, and I'd like to see us get to 50% in the language arts ISAT. Now, why do I say that I'm feeling pretty good about that data? If you look down at early literacy at the bottom, the IRI, we are at 65.4% proficiency. Like 2% because I clearly didn't see the typo. But we didn't quite hit our target. Well, when I was looking at the growth we've been making in early literacy, our trend line is going sharply up. So I'm really proud of the goals we're getting in early literacy, and those are going to start to translate, I think, into the ISAT more and more. So yes, I want more than 50% of our students proficient in language arts on the ISAT, but I think it's going to be growing and learning more about the test. Same in math. Our target set was 28%. We got 38%. So I'm going to aim for 50, and I really want to see our students get there. Science, we were far below our target. And digging into that a little bit, we just don't have a lot of time for science. A lot of it's integrated into language arts and into math. And so I don't feel like we address it as strongly as we do math and ELA. And it's a problem, yes, but if they can't read and they can't do math, science is going to be a no-go anyway. So we need to focus hard on the language arts and the math. And then I'm worried about science. I'm not leaving science in the dust. But it definitely comes in after language arts and math for me, especially after early literacy, because early literacy, that foundation for them to grow on, hugely important. And so I'm hopeful for a 75% performance target at the end of the school year. And to do that, on the next page, I've got some action steps. We've been working really hard on the continued implementation of the science of reading, actual science-based learning strategies that have proven results. And we've done a lot of training on that in the last several years through our Cultivating Readers and our SMART project, and we're really starting to see the dividends pay off as we go. We've been working weekly with Courtney Green. She's our local math interventionist for the state. She's coming weekly to work especially with 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade where the ISAT is taken in math. We've been working with our WIN groups. Those are what I need. Those are tiered by what a student needs. So in the primary grades, we've created a continuum based on the science of reading, and it tells you step by step by step by step what students should be able to do. And when they master one, they move to a next group. So groups are focusing on each individual place and moving students along, whether that's catching them up or pushing them forward, which is important. We have instituted a problem-solving team intervention and data tracking system so that we can intervene often and early. This year we're implementing learning ladders in all grades. We had them in 2nd grade last year, and they were really effective. What we learned in some of our professional development with Solution Tree this summer is that self-efficacy, the idea that students can track their own learning and set their own goals and be responsible for their own goals, is really important. And learning ladders allow that. It has an essential target at the top of the ladder, so that's where you're climbing to, and then all the steps that lead you there. And so in the model that 2nd grade used last year, the kids had clothespins with their number on it, not their name, their number, so it was anonymous. If they mastered a skill, they moved it up the ladder, and they could watch their progress and set goals. It was really cool. We've dedicated time on Mondays to really gather as staff and dig into the lesson mastery data, the standardized data, everything we can find to learn about the students and really figure out what it is they need and how we're going to work that. And all of our teachers have common prep time every day. So that's when the kids go to specials. So the teachers have 30 minutes every day that they can at least touch base. We're doing monthly progress monitoring for all students. That's different. Last year we didn't do it for every student. We only did it for students who are below benchmark. And we found that we lost track of the ones who needed to be pushed ahead. So we're doing it for everybody because I want to make sure that the kids who need to accelerate are not being lost in the mix. And then I was invited to join this Idaho Smart Leader pathway, and it's more about the implementation of the science of reading, but from a leader's perspective, where it's training the leaders how to be a better observer and a better intervener and help make sure that the science of reading is being implemented, and it's free. And I'm in the inaugural cohort because we've done all the work with the science of reading. So I thought, well, worst thing is I can learn a few things and hopefully help the kids out. So we're going to work that way to try to build our academic stamina by giving the kids challenging and interesting things to do. Our next slide is goal 3. That's providing a safe, healthy, and inviting environment for all students. And we had pretty decent results. Like our students, went from 75 to 78% of the students feeling safe, respected, and welcome. 75 to 84 felt safe, and 75 to 79 believe staff care. Those are all really good numbers. Like our 75% was our target, 78, 84, 79 were our results. I know 100% is not realistic. There's going to be the one child who's grumpy when they fill out the form, but you know what? 100% of our students should feel safe and respected and welcomed. 100% of our students should believe that we care. Like, that should be really a non-negotiable. And even if you don't always feel it sometimes, there's difference between feeling and knowing. And I want them to know. I want them to know that they're safe at our school and we care. I want them to know that they're welcome and we want to see them every day. Even if it's a bad day, I want them to know that that's true. So I think that that's the only number I could put there is 100%, because no child should feel unsafe. No child should feel disrespected. No child should feel unwelcome. Just absolutely not. And I think it shows in our attendance that kids are coming. We could do better, for sure. Like, I would really like to see higher 90s. I'd love to see 97s, 98s for attendance rates. It's really hard in elementary school because we are very dependent upon parents. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing for parents. It's just that kids, like in high school, you can incentivize the kids and the kids want to do it. Harder when they're little because sometimes parents have things they have to do and they can't bring the kids, or they have sick kids, or there's a lot of stuff that goes into it. So I really want to see that increase for the kids wanting to be at school and just nagging the parents constantly, like, please get me to school, please get me to school. But the fact of the matter is, it's harder in elementary to incentivize that. But we're trying. They want to be there, and a lot of kids have said that. I want to be at school. I like to be at school. Some kids try to come sick. You wouldn't believe the number of kids who try to come back, and they're like, "Hi, Dr. Argush." I'm like, "You all right there?" Had a kid tell us. I think was it today? It was today. Came back, told the teachers came in. They're like, "So and so says they have strep. Should they be here?" I'm like, "Yeah, 24 hours, antibiotics, fine." But the kids do want to come. They want to be there, and so I'm not saying that we're not working on attendance, because we are. I'd like to see it 97, 98%, because if students aren't there, we can't teach them. That being said, there are some things that kids get to go do that is also learning. When parents take them on a vacation, harvest, hunting, all those things, that's learning. That's real life learning. So you can't take that away either. Discipline. This is always an interesting monster. So this year we updated our behavior matrix because I really want to see discipline just plummet. I hate more than anything suspending small children. So I want to see that rate just go away if I could. We don't have a lot of trouble with cell phones, although they're starting to rear their head in the 4th and 5th grade as we get a little further on. But less cell phones, a lot more smartwatches. Smartwatches are becoming a big deal. Fighting is our big one. Little kids get into scuffles on the playground. I anticipate this will be less this year because of our playground structure. They have more things to do. And no kid goes out to recess wanting to get in trouble. They go out to recess because they want to play. So we're having a lot fewer fights coming in because there's just more real estate to spread out on. Biggest problem with our monkey bars is we're not very good at it yet, and we fall and everybody lands on their elbow. All of them on their elbow. So we've also introduced on the action steps, we've updated our behavior matrix. We've introduced the staffing of a lunch detention. That's helped a lot. And we really are working hard with our students of the week and our weekly lessons focused on character development. So we're trying really hard to instill hard work, learn a love of learning, but also that grit and responsibility that comes with learning to make sure that our students are they have every opportunity in the world, is what we want for them. Any questions I can answer?
Keep up the good work.
All right. Thank you.
Sounds like the kids need to do some gymnastics or something and fall like an athlete.
Oh my goodness. I'm like,
Rock and roll.
you guys, like, fall on your backsides. It's padded.
Yeah.
So we're working really hard to look at data early. We're trying really hard. I forgot this whole slide. Common assessments, learning ladders. One more slide. I forgot it. Sorry. And we really want to focus on these questions. What do we want the kids to learn? How do we know if they learned it? What do we do if they don't learn it? And what do we do if they did learn it? We can't leave them behind. And maybe that's what they need to learn, is how to fall like a gymnast.
That's right.
Do you know one of the most fun things we've tried to figure out is, can you get all the way around the new play structure without touching the ground?
Right.
No one's made it yet that I'm aware of.
Yeah, I've got a video of the IDL guys trying it.
It's not easy.
Yeah.
But
They actually got up on top of everything and ran around it.
yeah, they can't do that. But it's a lot of fun, so thank you for all your work on that. But it has helped with discipline a lot.
That's good.
So, all right, thank you.
Thank you.
Come visit any time if you have questions or you just want to be part of the joy. And please come tomorrow for the assembly.
I'll be there. All right, to St. Mary's High School Strategic Plan, Principal Christopher Asbury.
Well, thanks for giving me this opportunity tonight, guys. I'm gonna keep a lot of this surface level because I encourage you to come sit down with me in the building, walk the building, see all the awesome stuff that we have going on there, and maybe dig a little deeper into some of these things. Having those conversations when you can actually see the work in progress and talk to some of the teachers that go into all these numbers. So as you can see there, targets set on the left, results in the middle, new targets on the right. We saw a trend throughout the state, about a 5% dip across the board. We experienced that as well, so we missed some of our targets. Language arts was close. Math, behind, we've historically been right around the 31, 32 mark. So if you can see our targets on the right, instead of taking a big swing at it and saying we're going to raise it by 20% next year, it's like, is that realistic? So we really worked hard at setting a realistic goal, and that was to get us back to 24 levels, and then we can take a big swing at that. So next slide, please. So here's some of the action steps. This is what I would love for you guys to come out and visit and see, and you can get a better idea of what they mean when you can see them in action. But three major areas that we really focused on. Number one was the at-risk grouping, getting the high school on board with the PLC model, so we're all in grade level teams. We all have our eyeballs on students within the grades, and then they can tackle the issues either behavioral, academically, as a group. And you can see there our PLC pillars that Dr. Arkush mentioned. What we want our students to do, what do we do if they're not getting it, what do we do if they are getting it, and then how do we push those forward. And then I think I'm real proud of our training calendar. We've formalized a lot of the processes at the high school, getting them down on paper, making sure we're following them, teaching with fidelity, leading with fidelity, and I think our Monday calendar has really made a great use of that collaboration time on Monday, and I think high school scores are going to show it this year. This was probably my most disappointing thing to put down. Our end of the year survey results were below what we anticipated. And so I dove into this with my building leadership team to kind of see what exactly, were students thinking when they filled out their survey. I sat down with about 10 or 12 students from every grade at the end of last year to just kind of pick their brain and see, like, you don't feel welcomed, you don't feel safe, like what's going on? And the results were interesting. The seniors said they didn't feel respected because I took their cell phones. So I shouldn't do that. And so they marked us down on feeling respected. So we got into some nuances of the questions and what respect meant versus having a set standard of behavioral and expectations. So, but yeah, I encourage you to come out to the high school and you can see some of the work we've went into address some of these areas. On the next slide, you'll see some of the action steps that we've, oh, never mind. The next slide after this slide. That supervision in the hallways, some students said, hey, the high school's a very long building. And we have 4 minutes to get from point A to point B, so there's lots that happens out there. So making sure staff is in the hallway, supervising when things could go wrong. I mentioned the cell phone policy. Our instructional model is always in work, and that means a 60-minute class period. We're teaching bell to bell. We're trying to change gears every 12 minutes, keeping students engaged, working on those transitions. Third one from the bottom is our champion program, something we kind of dreamt up about a year ago, fully implemented this year. Every student in the high school is assigned an adult staff member. So there's roughly 8 to 9 students per staff member. Staff members check in with them weekly. Hey, how are we doing? Did you go hunting this weekend? How's your grades? Come on into my classroom, take a load off, just to make sure every student has a connection to an adult in that building. And I think we're going to see the dividends pay off, hopefully at the end of the year, and that feeling respected, welcomed, and safe at school. If you want to go back to the attendance stuff, I kind of jumped out of. So here we go, kind of holding steady there in the low 90s. High school, really, we want to incentivize them being there. They're there for credit, there for graduation requirements. I think next year, adding in our 2 new CTE programs and encouraging those students that maybe aren't showing up to grab a hold of one of these career fields that we have to offer, and I think we'll see those attendance rates improve. Chronic absenteeism cut in half, so that's 10 absences per or less per semester. That's 36 students last year versus almost 72 the prior year. So made major strides in that aspect. Okay, I believe this is the suspension discipline data, yes. This was interesting, 2023-24 versus 24-25, about the same amount of cell phone infractions. So you're like, well, is our cell phone policy working? Like, well, a lot of these are first infractions. 3/4 of that 92 you see last year were all cell phone 1 violations, and most students didn't receive another violation. So a lot of these was implementing the new policy, having some teach-tos for students, what's acceptable use, what's not, and then most of them were not repeat offenders, and that's what we strive for. Okay, and our last slide is just some current happenings and highlights at St. Mary's High School. I just confirmation this evening that 2 machines will be installed tomorrow, including the auto lifts. So the guy is en route right now to put those in place. Planning for the Spring Voc Expo is underway, all those invites and kind of tentative dates scheduled in before we leave for Thanksgiving. High school is hosting an open house and parent-teacher conferences on Friday. We leave for college tours to NIC, or excuse me, to U of I and LCSC on Wednesday. NIBCA, that's the North Idaho Builder Contract Association. They've partnered with us to help construct our own sawmill. It's a mini sawmill, and they're gonna build our structure to house the drying of the lumber, our wood miser machine, and client orders. So that should, the number's tough, but kind of pencils out to about $100,000. And they're going to be on site. Our students are going to help the contractors actually build their own building to have a little bit of ownership in what goes on our campus. Winter sports, girls basketball is underway. Boys basketball will start Friday and wrestling next Monday. Our emergency drill training well underway. We'll have our lockdown drill tomorrow. We've had all of our required fire drills, and we had a hall check drill last week. And our Choices Matter assembly, which involves teen distracted driving in partnership with Red Ribbon Week. That will be the Friday before we leave for Thanksgiving break. And something I really love, and Bridget, you can talk about this. Our breakfast buddies, we send high school students, how many have been showing up? 6 to 8? 6 or 8 show up, and they just go eat breakfast with the little guys. And the little guys love it, but I think our high schoolers love it too. We tell them there's plenty of time to make it back to school for first hour, so don't be tardy. But it's weird that they show up with coffees from the coffee stand. They feel a little big-timey because they're out doing their civic duty, but we're real proud of passing the torch, letting some of our student leaders go down to the elementary school and just kind of hang out. So.
And our students think they're so cool. They get to eat in the breakfast, but it's the neatest thing. So it's a
Pretty good. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
It's good stuff. Yes. So I encourage you to come out to the high school, see what we're doing in action. That's how you can really dip your toe in the water and see what we have going on out there. So any questions for the high school?
Your vocational spring. Do you know what date you're gonna do that?
For the Diggers and Dogs deal, yeah. I don't offhand.
Just, you don't have to.
April 15th to 18th, somewhere in there. We're looking at spring sports schedules, but then that changes with weather, so we pretty much just have to pick a day now and go with
Yeah,
it.
we're trying to think about taking our thing that we done here up to Sandpoint.
Okay.
So we're trying to, yeah, get stuff around there. I don't know if we would go that far or not, but anyway.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. And then you talked about, what was the deal about teen distraction and that stuff?
The Choices Matter Assembly?
Yeah.
Yeah, the Friday before break.
Yeah.
And it's real students that come in and tell their stories of either accidents of texting and driving, or too many kids in the car and running off the road, or speeding and just making poor choices behind the wheel.
So we just had a safety thing in Moscow, and there's a guy from Pape. I could get his name if you want it, but anyway, he talks about driving because he's over Pape's fleet delivery stuff, you know, and he's got a lot of footage of delivery guys texting, and I mean, whoa, you know, looking. I mean, it's actual footage. It's actually pretty darn good. It's kind of like, okay, well, I better sit and pay attention. So I don't know if anything like that would kind of.
Yeah, I'll see where this goes. I want to kind of run this in conjunction with another one in the spring. We like to do another reminder right before graduation time, where seniors are out filling their oats, and we just want to keep everybody safe during that time of year for sure.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Yep, sounds good.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you,
Thanks.
principals.
Written building reports. We got the middle school, Tori Carson, and we got the, want to go over any of those? Or?
Yeah, you have all the written reports.
Yeah.
I'd just like to call out a couple highlights since the middle school and Upriver didn't present tonight. So if you look at the middle school, you'll see particularly under forestry, which is one of the college and career readiness classes being offered. Today we had the U of I simulator, so I have a picture later on the superintendent report. The kids got to go out and practice driving. I don't know if anyone beat my score though. It's 97%, I'm just saying.
Where were you driving?
Some big
Buncher?
old
The buncher?
truck. Oh yeah, that buncher.
They're much driving to that?
Well,
Swinging things around?
They're cutting
well, yeah, you
trees.
gotta
That's
live,
pretty
you gotta
cool.
back up,
right?
you gotta
But
push
the it was
forward,
a
there's
tiger
people
cat
around
simulator.
you. So, they had fun, they had a lot of fun. So the forestry program's gone really well. That's really great. And then for Upriver, just pointing out their continued academic achievement, you'll see particularly the kindergartners, both in early math and early literacy, are making noticeable gains. And overall, K-6, they continue to make gains in their English and their language arts, which is part of the reason they got out of program improvement this past year. So they're continuing that good work.
Could I comment on that upriver?
Sure, please.
So Blake Manley and I went up there 2 or 3 weeks ago, or maybe 4 now, to do a presentation for Mrs. Stoll's class on forestry. And I gotta say, those students were very respectful. Every one of them come out to us, shook our hand, introduced themselves, and what's your name? So whatever you guys are doing there, keep it up. Very, very good. Thank you.
Thought I saw TJ.
He's out there.
He's right there.
He's right there.
Oh, yeah.
I was looking at the 6th grade teacher, making sure that.
You saw that highlight.
In this corner.
Yes, we're seeing some dividends and small things like that.
Yeah, no, very respectful, and, you know, when we had to reel them back in, they reeled back in, and they were good kids, so just, yeah, keep it up.
And then transportation's working hard, keeping kids safe, fully staffed, shorter bus rides ideally with our drive being fully staffed, our mechanic keeping the buses safe and maintained and ready for winter. Joe and his team, as you know, continue to keep those buildings safe, maintained, particularly getting them ready for the winter. Food service works really hard on making sure we're feeding the kiddos. And our special ed department with our new director is just very approachable, very hands-on, very present on the site, working hard with our kiddos, parents, and students. And I think they're feeling that support.
All right.
End of report.
Okay. G, Zone 5 vacancy interviews. What everybody's been waiting for. We have a list.
You have an
We
order?
have a list and an order.
I put them in alphabetical order. In the
Probably have to
book.
find them in here.
First
Yeah.
one would be Jennifer.
It's under G,
Guzarelli.
tab G.
Yes, tab G. Jennifer, are you here? I was last to apply and first to go.
Yes.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I had 2 hours to prepare.
All right.
Let's do this.
Perfect. Nothing like last minute.
So,
So, do we agree 5 minutes, or?
Yeah, 5 minutes since we have 6 of them.
Okay. All right, when you're ready.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
Go for it.
So, you can tell us about yourself, experience you have.
All right, hello everyone, my name is Jenna Zarelli, and a little bit about me is, as someone who's seen risk negatively affect organizations, I strive to understand small risks before they become large issues to mitigate them. And so a lot of my background includes financial and accounting experience, as well as some experience in education, and I'll break that down for you. So I have over 25 years experience in audit and risk management. When we manage risk in my world, it's part of internal audit, and we'll identify risk in various areas, whether it's financial statement risk or whether it's PR risk, culture. We can really address anything. And so that's what I've spent a lot of my career on. Also been an auditor, and that's really part of the audit world. And then also worked with a lot of education entities. So we built software for grant and fund management, because of course, as you all know, you probably want to use the most restrictive funds first. So I built software that optimized and prioritized fund and grant management, and got to teach Yale University how to use that. I've trained Stanford University on risk management as well, and accounting internal controls. I've worked with Gonzaga to teach the students and mentor them there on another topic, and was a mentor and guest speaker at other universities, including San Jose State, Santa Clara University, and WSU.
Do you have any questions for her?
Why do you want to be on the St. Mary's School Board? Or
Well,
I should
I-
say St. Mary's District
Yes.
41 School Board.
Well, because I share your vision of student success and achievement, and working with the community and making sure that our students are well equipped to go out in the world on their own.
How long have you lived here?
Oh, about 4 years.
Follow-up questions? So I'm assuming you've had a chance to review policies, or not? maybe?
I've had 2 hours to prepare, so no, I have not dug into the policies, unfortunately, not yet.
Okay. Are you aware of any of the policies this board has instituted within, say, the last year?
Not any specific policies. I mean, I've heard some things on Facebook, but other than that, not any specific policies.
Okay. What would you like to see addressed within, say, the first year if you were on this board?
Well, I'd like to understand where we can become more efficient with finances. I know that finances is really hitting everybody hard across the United States this year. I mean, counties, cities, schools, and that's one of the things that I've been really, really good at in every entity that I've ever gone to, is figuring out where to optimize and prioritize and become more efficient with the funds, and also reduce risk, because there's lots of risks out there that will threaten the ability to be financially performant, and so that's another area that I would focus on.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, without much knowledge on any of the current policies, I really don't have any other questions.
Right. All right, well, thank you for coming in.
Yeah, thank you.
Now we took, Vicki McMaster, is that where we're at next, or did I skip one?
Next in line is Edith Jones.
Oh, okay, yeah, there we go. Yeah, Mr. Lewis Jones.
So then, my name's Lewis Jones. I was raised in Roseburg, Oregon. It's a town just a lot like St. Mary's. It reminds me of the town I grew up in. I mean, it's quite similar. So I know the kind of folks that are here. I'm aware of the culture and the way things go here. I graduated from Central Washington University in 2013 with a bachelor's in electrical mechanical engineering. And I was 4.0, 14 consecutive terms, graduated with 3.5 GPA. And some of the things, skill sets I bring to the table is waste management. I've seen waste. I've worked in the school district for about 4 years. I've seen some of the waste that occurs in the school district, and I think I could bring a lot to the table when it comes to managing waste. It was one of my expertises in my career. I worked for several big companies where I participated in cutting costs and reducing waste. And that can consist of anything from, like reused school books to mechanics, overruns, different things. There's different ways to identify it and cut it and make it more efficient. I also am familiar with the school district because I've been an employee for a while, and there's some things that I would like to see improved. One thing that I noticed, I work for a lot of big companies, and I've never seen an employee survey since I've worked here. And that's something that really is really important for metrics and understanding how employees feel and employee retention. I think that's really important, something that probably should be addressed. Some of the other things I've noticed is we're a little behind when it comes to technology. Being an electrical engineer, I've had a lot of education in computer science and robotics. I was a robotics engineer myself. And so I think that the school district lacks in technology in keeping up with the way things are going. We have the new thing with AI. It's going to be a big thing. Companies are going to use it. People are going to use it. Coding and computer science is going to be more important than ever in the future. And it's something that I think the school district can improve in for sure, because we're a little behind in that realm. I mean, like in AI, for instance, I can look up on my phone right now, this little phone I have, I can look up 150,000 databases and find an answer within 10 minutes of information that I couldn't get before. I mean, the amount of progress we've made in technology is really, really outstanding, and something that I think the school district can improve in. And policies and procedures, there's a few policies that I don't really agree with. I think the grievance policy could be revamped to where it's more anonymous. It seems like to me that the grievance policy is designed to be used to suppress conflict. I think that it could be made anonymous, and when it's needed to know who that was, it could be, done in private. I think that it's important to be able to bring things to the table as employees of the school district that makes it more fair. And that's one thing that I've seen. So that's about all I have. Anybody have any questions?
Same as last. How long have you lived here?
Lived here 5 years.
And it says here that you or your spouse are an employee of the district.
I am.
So that's kind of a conflict.
So I used to be in the transportation department. I just am a janitor. I work part-time. And so I'm not really a high-level employee anymore. I retired I'm retired and I work part-time to just make a little money to survive.
Who's a current substitute?
So,
Is that can you be a substitute and a trustee at the same time? Probably
You
can't be a
have to
paid
resign.
employee.
Yeah, you have to resign as substitute
Right.
if you came on as the board
that's fine.
member.
We could do that.
Thank you.
So I do have some questions for you.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm gonna ask all the candidates the same question, so
Right.
they're gonna get a leg up, they'll get to think about this for a few minutes, but, just over the last year, which policies has this board created that you would have supported, or vice versa, that you would not have been in support of?
Actually, there's several that I'm in very much support of. The cell phone policy, I think, is a great policy. It's something that's needed to be done for a long, long time. Students need to focus on school and not other things. It's a huge distraction. I do like the gun carry rule that you guys passed. I think it brings protection to our schools. I think it's really important, and I think it's valid, and I support it wholly. Safety, one thing that I think could be improved on that is student retention. You know, having students that we need to have more of our students in school, and I think some of the policies that the school district has in the way of education limits the amount of students that you get, and I think that affects the finances. I also have some expertise in finances because I was an engineer. Statistics and finances are part of being an engineer. You got to know how to deal with budgets and statistics and different things.
So along those same lines, as far as policies that have been created, what do you think has been most beneficial? And again, which have been the least beneficial?
I think, upgrading the sheriff's department in our high school especially, and it frees up the other officer to be at the other schools. I think that's a huge thing, and I think it's a really good thing. And I really like the gun policy. I think that brings safety to schools. I think that's really important. We need to have schools that are safe, and I think that improves that a lot. Somebody's not so apt to come in and shoot up a school if there's guns in the school. I think it's really important.
Within the first year, what would something be that you would like to see addressed?
There's some policies in the policy manual I think I would like to see changed. And
Such as?
well, I think one of the things is the way employees are dealt with. I think that would be one of the things that I would be working on to change. Being an employee, I recognize there's some things that I don't agree with, and I would try to vamp those and make them more fair. And I think that also recognition, I think, is an important thing of employees. That's one thing I always tried to do when I was a boss, because I had been a boss, is always thank my employees for what they do. I think that's a really important thing, and I think that brings a lot of continuity, and that helps with retention, because if people know you, they're appreciated, they're more apt to participate and be productive as employees. I think there's a lot that could be done in the area of how we deal with our employees, for sure.
Yeah. All right. Thank you for coming in.
Thank you.
All right, now we are to Vicki McMaster.
How are you guys doing? So I just have a letter to introduce myself, if that's all right if I just read that to you? Okay. So my name's Vicki McMaster. I'm interested in representing Zone 5 on the St. Mary School Board. I'm eager to fill this position in service to my neighbors and community. As a veteran teacher, I have extensive experience with district and school-wide activities and committees. Throughout my career, I've served on various committees, including those focused on student attendance, insurance review, and both building and district level leadership teams. This knowledge and experience are directly relevant to the responsibilities of a school board member. I see this position as an opportunity to continue supporting students on their journeys to becoming successful citizens, and I'm committed to sharing my expertise and advocating for what's best for our students while striving to achieve the district's vision of providing a quality education. Short and sweet.
All right, yeah, that was quick. How long have you lived here?
I've 30 years.
Long time, yeah,
Yeah,
right.
it's been a bit. Yep. Had 2 kids go through the district, so.
So I'm gonna ask the same
Yeah,
questions.
same questions. Go ahead,
Yeah,
Dave.
just looking at the last 12 months, last year, what policies has this board created that you would be in support of, and vice versa, would you have?
Well,
looked at
I'm
yourself?
aware of a couple of policies. There's a cell phone policy that was implemented, and then the weapons policy that was put in place, modified. Yeah.
And as far as in support of, had other views?
So I think when it comes to policies, it's a collaborative decision, and so even if there's something that you know, might have reservations about, you have to look at what's best for the school, what's best for the people, and it's not about having a personal agenda.
Which, and again, what policies do you think we've moved forward with that have been most beneficial and maybe on the other side have had a lesser impact?
So I can appreciate the cell phone policy as a teacher. As soon as that thing buzzes in their pocket, their attention is gone. So I can appreciate that. I do understand the high schoolers' position too, that maybe they feel like they aren't respected because they've lost a privilege. But I guess a rule is a rule, and we all have to do things that we don't necessarily enjoy to get through our days.
And within the first year, would there be something you would like to see addressed on the board?
No, not in particular. Just try to be supportive and make sure that the kids get the best education that they can. Be supportive of the staff and the teachers.
Thank you.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Amy Shinist. You're up.
Good evening. Are we ready?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, I'll start with just a little here. So my name's Amy Shinus. I am a mom, a wife, a business owner, and I've been a member of this community for over 20 years. We've raised 4 amazing children in this community. I am master degree educated with the focus of my bachelor's being in reading and education. I was also an assistant professor of nursing at NIC College. I come from a family of educators. I've actively participated in board meetings and policy input and review in this district for several years now. I have been a parent of students who graduated from this district, a homeschool parent, a coach, a 4-H leader, and I have experience in evaluating curriculum, and I think all of these experiences make me uniquely qualified for this open board position. I'm passionate about returning this board to our community and assisting this board in reestablishing accountability to its policies and facilitating renewed commitment to its governing principles.
Okay. Like everybody else, how long have you lived here?
Over 20 years. I could probably do the math in my head if I had to, but I know it's been over 20.
Go ahead, Josh.
So Amy, I'm going to ask the same questions as far as the policies that this board has instituted in the last year. What would you have been in support of, or vice versa, had other thoughts about?
Yeah, so absolutely, I'm in support of the gun policy. I played a role in instituting that and starting that ball rolling. And then additionally, I love the cell phone policy. I think cell phones are interruptive of education, and I think that their place is not in the classroom. So did you ask me as well if I had any that I was opposed to?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I honestly am definitely in opposition to the most recent policy, or one of the most recent policies that was just passed. I sorry, I'm looking for the number here, I believe it's 1303. The policy, which is an entirely new policy that was made this year, and I clarified that, making sure there was no old policy this was being formulated from. So it's an entirely new policy saying that the board is responsible for reviewing certain policy every year, and there's a list of the policies there. And what I find in the column next to that are little asterisks next to it that says that actually that can be, that responsibility, which resides with the board according to your policy, can now be advocated to or delegated to the superintendent rather than the board reviewing those policies. So I am in opposition of that policy, and I did actually voice my opposition prior to you using a special meeting to approve that policy.
Okay. Yeah, what do you think has been most beneficial, and vice versa, which policies have had the least impact?
Most beneficial policy, I think,
To the
that's
school
been
district.
most recent policy, I would say, would be the cell phone policy.
And then least beneficial to the district?
Most recent, least beneficial would be the one that I already spoke on.
Okay.
Taking the power away from the board and giving it to an employee of the district, which I don't think is appropriate, and I don't think follows the standards of the policies that are in place for the board. One of which says that one of their primary duties is to make policy.
And lastly, what would you like to see addressed within the first year if you were on the board?
If I was on the board, I would really just like to see the board as a whole getting back to being in alignment with their policies and being accountable for those choices that are made when they're not in alignment with policy.
All right, thank you.
Okay.
Anything else?
Go ahead.
Yeah, absolutely.
So if you were picked for the Zone 5 position, I know you're not a ISBA fan, but they've got a convention this week. Would you be willing to go to that convention to see what they're all about?
I believe I would be able to do that. I may have a little bit of time restriction given that I'm a medical provider and I have patients on my schedule. So, but I think that I could probably make some arrangements to be present at least for part of that conference.
All right. Yeah, good question.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Laramie Teely.
My name is Laramie Teal. I moved here in 2018 in the fall. I was applied for this position to have an opportunity to serve, hopefully help make decisions, direct the direction of the upcoming generation to be hopefully productive, useful people in the community, society at large. And the opportunity arose to fill that position, so I said, okay, I'll apply for it. I don't have an overabundance of experience serving on committees or boards or things like that. I am on the Amida Water Sewer District Board, as well as Camp Sanders, which are both here in this county, those boards. Not anything as big as this, as far as decision-making goes in those things. I don't have a ton of technological experience sitting down at a computer, but I did work as a maintenance facility manager, and so I've done a lot of troubleshooting, which I feel like a board should be good at troubleshooting if you're solving things and making decisions that impact everybody below you. You should be able to look through all the options, do a well thought out, well researched job before you make a decision, which I feel like I'm pretty good at troubleshooting things to be able to come up with good alternative solutions. So that's some of the things about me. I generally just do a lot of handyman type work for actual work ever since moving here to Idaho. So.
All right. Well, they already stated, been here since 2018. 7 years, a bit of time. Yeah.
Go ahead, Josh.
All right. Are you familiar with the school board, the school district's policies?
I have never read through them all, and I don't know them off the top of my head. I have heard of some of the policies, you know, secondhand. That's the only method I've actually know of any of them, I guess.
Okay.
So,
I mean, in all fairness, from what you have heard, what would you have been in support of from this last year, and conversely not have been in support of?
When I heard of the no cell phone thing, I'd definitely be in support of that. I myself didn't even have a cell phone until I was 22 years old, so I did okay without it, although it would have benefited me a little bit if I got one a little sooner. But I'm in favor of that for sure. It can be a big distraction because it's a very social thing for kids to be communicating and so on when you're trying to focus one way, something's pulling your attention somewhere else. I think that's a good thing. I think the one I heard of the gun policy, I think that's a good thing too. I even read the sign right out here on the door when I walked in because I thought, I wonder if there's anybody in there that potentially is armed, and it says right on the door, or on the window, I guess, next to the door, that somebody may be. And I was like, well, that's good to know, I think, that somebody may be. I wouldn't trust my kids in a school where I didn't think that somebody potentially could return equivalent threat to somebody who was maybe threatening them. So I think that's good policy. Some of the other ones I don't know a ton about them, exactly what was implemented. There's some of them I think I wouldn't be in favor of that I think were implemented. I know passing what Amy mentioned, passing the delegating the responsibility down to an employee for going over the policies. I think I wouldn't be in favor of doing that as much as it's a convenient thing, just because they weren't elected. And you all were, and so I think that's the board's job to do their own research, and it would take a bit. And I would add to that too that I'm self-employed, so I do have a lot of time to make special meetings, other things. I can move my schedule however I want, as well as other kinds of things. The principal of the high school mentioned people coming over and seeing things that's going on, as well as the other lady that was up here, and those are kinds of things I could totally do. Pop into school, see kids' projects, things as a board member. But it honestly doesn't make a big difference to me what you guys decide on. It was just, this was an opportunity to serve, so I said I'll explore it. So.
All right. If there was something that you would like to see addressed within the next year, what might that be?
I would like to see the school, and I'm not positive this, I think it's moving a little bit in this direction already, but I would like to see, especially in high school, kids be able to be fairly selective in being able to choose a career path and have classes that would fit it. So we don't all necessarily have to get an education level of an engineer if we say we're going into forestry, or we're going into mechanics. We're going to go work at a mechanic shop. So where the kids could say, my last year of high school already sets me on course to maybe a higher level education in college, or at least when I get out of high school, I'm ready to go into whatever avenue of workforce they may be in, even in the realms of, they said, I'm going to be done with high school and get my next level thing and become a teacher. They could have courses selected to be able to go in that direction. And I would have to look through, some of the curriculum and things to see how much of that's implemented and already, and where maybe you could improve to give kids that opportunity to really have them more specialized in an area if they wished. And if not, just take your regular general required things to graduate from high school.
So if you could just elaborate on something, reading through here, you made a statement in your statement of intent. I have little to no experience or active involvement in the district.
Yeah, in the school district, like in the sense of I don't go over to the high school. I've not been to very many school board meetings. I don't even, like I said, I haven't read through the school policy. I'm not tracking it closely. I mean, I know what time the bus picks the kids up. But I haven't been very actively involved in any school activities. I've never been a coach at the school or anything like that, although I've contemplated it, but it's not something that I've felt there's a real need there necessarily, partly because I'm not real involved, so I have no idea when it's like, oh, we're looking for a new coach or that kind of stuff. Yeah, that's what I meant by that, if that wasn't clear.
So you have kids in the district?
Yes, I have 5 kids.
Awesome.
And they're all homeschooled.
Oh. Well, you said you knew when the kids get picked up.
Yeah,
on
the
bus.
kids get picked up in front of my house.
Oh, I got you.
So, the school bus stop building used to sit on my lot before I built the house there.
Oh.
So, yeah.
All right. Anybody else got anything? Thanks for coming in. Heather Wilcox.
Hello. Nice to see you guys. I'm actually kind of nervous. Okay, so my name's Heather Wilcox. I am a mom, first off. I have 4 kids. One just became an adult, which is a new transition for me. I have a son in elementary, one in junior high, and one in high school here. And my story is I've been a stay-at-home mom for some time, helped my husband with his business, and then as the kids have gotten older, I went back to school. I have a bachelor's of accounting, working on my master's. I'm an accountant right now. The biggest thing for me is I've always tried to be an advocate for whether it's my kids predominantly, and I actually had the opportunity. I've been in the area 5 years. I was over at the Harrison area, so I was on the school board over there, and we had an opportunity to move to St. Mary's last winter, so I stepped off. And then the 3.5 years that I was over on that school board, I was humbled to be nominated to be chair for 2 of the years and vice chair for 1 of the years. For me, being on the school board is an opportunity. I'm passionate about helping kids and helping families and staff be able to reach their potential. I've seen it firsthand initially when I first got on. If the board is disconjointed, if there's uncertainty, instability, it can kind of disrupt the school district. It creates unease with staff members. And so our biggest job is to make sure the ship is sailing forward, that we are making sound policies, making sure we're making fiscally sound decisions. Some of the, and also being on the school board is hard because it's not paid. You're not paid. And that's fine, but sometimes you're a punching bag, and that's fine because we do it for the kids. Some of the big policies that I helped, or the big votes, a lot of times you're voting, maybe you're the only yes vote, and that's okay. I am a big believer, you gotta stick to what is, you're reading the community, so I always try to be partial, but was voting in the new school year in 2021 without masks during the COVID situation. There was also a time we found out we were one of the few school districts in the state to actually have the gender identity bathroom policy, and so before the legislators actually got rid of that, it was around that time and a lot of uncertainty. I brought it to the table and we had a unanimous decision, thankfully, and that was removed. So as far as like my husband, he is a coach. He does coach junior high track here, and he coaches the youth football. So I usually let him, he's more hands-on kids, and I don't really get involved in that. And I just kind of have a passion for students, making sure, there's stability and that sort of thing.
All right, Josh, go ahead.
Yeah. Ask you the same questions I asked the other candidates. just looking back at the last year, what policies would you have, that have been created that you have supported or been against?
Well, I believe in trying to, I've been watching the meetings even for the last 2 years, even when I was on my other board. I'm always learning. So I was watching different school districts, learning how to be. And actually when the opening came up, I waited because I'm new in town here. And this is very different. Like, this is a very different town. And I respect that. And I see the participation from patrons. And that's a big deal. And that's something that is good to not have apathy. So I waited a couple of months I waited the 90 days to wait to see if there were other applicants. And I felt after 90 days in my heart to step up. It's kind of a side trail, sorry. But I am actually in zone. I found out when I applied. So I'm in zone 5, which is a new point now. But during that time I was watching the meetings, and I believe I sent a patron comment in to the board about the concealed weapons carry and how I was in support of that. It was before you guys had voted on it, just showing my support. And then also encouraging you guys to continue to record the meetings, because that's a really big deal. So.
Is there something that you would not have been in support of?
Not necessarily. I haven't had a chance to read, I know Amy referenced, I haven't had a chance to really sit down and read it. So I'm not sure the context in regards to the super having control over the annual meeting revisions. For me, that is something to really, we trust the super, but we got to make sure that I would be in support of making sure we have local control, but I haven't read the context of that policy this time. So.
Okay. Along the same lines, policies that we've instituted that you think have been most beneficial to the district and vice versa that have had the least impact?
I'm not able to speak on least impact currently. I think most impactful is the concealed. I also do like the opt-in for sex education. That is a good one. So that would be, that's it now.
And lastly, what would you like to see addressed within the next year?
Well, I was able to locate your guys' strategic plan, and I know I think that's a really good idea because it kind of refocuses the district on big picture, and then it tears down goals. And so I think just continuing to work in that district strategic plan, making sure we're fiscally sound, and also working on increasing the academic levels with the different goals.
So you just mentioned that there was clarification. I knew there was question about where you lived exactly, so there was clarification that she is actually in zone 5?
Yeah, she's right on the border of it.
I believe so. I think it was checked, confirmed with the auditor.
Okay, so you are actually in zone 5?
Yeah.
Okay.
Anybody else? Okay, thank you for coming in. Thank you. All right, H, Idaho School Board Association activities. We've got the ISBA conference coming up this week, the 12th to the 14th in Coeur d'Alene. You'll learn something.
See you there.
Right.
Question, Tana. Can you early bird session a Wednesday at 7:30 to 9:30?
The one you want?
No, can you see what I signed up for? Anybody signed up for it?
I will email you on that, and you
Okay.
can grab that folder.
Well, I guess the reason why I'm questioning, I don't know if I'm gonna make that. I'm gonna be loading the first round in the morning. Hopefully I can get back in time
7:30 on the
Wednesday. I don't remember what they were. Thank you.
Matthew,
Yeah.
you going it out yet? No. It's all downhill.
This is reimbursable by the State Department for special development for board members. So do keep track of the courses, the breakout sessions you do go to, because some of them are reimbursable, and I have it on here. So once you guys get back, you can tell me which ones you guys like to I'll see if they're reimbursable and the travel as well, so I can get that submitted.
Okay. Yeah.
I think a lot of them that are reimbursable, I think they take your name down when you go
I
in
don't know if they
there.
are
They
this year,
do.
because they sent a very
Oh,
long
really?
list and they
Oh.
changed the forms. I'm
Oh,
not sure
okay.
they'll make you do that this year. If they don't, just, yeah.
I know you used to have to sign
Yep.
when you
just
went
have
in
to
there,
sign in when.
if it was a
sign in
reimbursable
sheet.
one, so.
Yeah, just in case they don't optimize on the
Okay.
Yeah, so for everybody out there, we get reimbursed for professional development as board members. So the state will refund us for going to this professional development. So, you know,
The
it's not
state
just coming out of
allocates-
our district.
Yeah, the state allocates $6,600 a year for professional development for board members, so when you, some of the classes that you go to or they put on, you can apply for the reimbursement for that, so.
Is that 6,600 for each board member or
Yes.
for like the Senate total?
Total.
So it'd be a total for
Oh.
our
Yes.
board to go.
Correct.
And every board, yeah. And
Yeah.
it's reimbursement, so if you don't go to special development, you don't get reimbursed. It's not. Right. Yep.
Yeah, and there's all kinds of stuff in there. There is first year trustee stuff, and I went to that when I first got on, and, you know, they teach you, you know, you're up high, you're not into every decision that is made in the district. You know, there's a lot of stuff that is done by the administrators and kept track of by them. If they had to ask us every question that needed to be answered, we wouldn't get anything done as a district. So, yeah, there's a lot of good information there. And then there's some information that you don't have to listen to.
And then, yeah, they give you, it's a book about that type of workshops, and you just go through and see what you want to take and go to, and they've got guest speakers and, you know, networking and stuff like that, so you can talk to other districts. But the first year I went to it, I went back to my hotel room with a headache. There was just so much information overload, and I think I told Beth that too.
Well, a lot of it's legal.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't realize, and you kind of go, oh.
Yeah, there is ways you could get yourself in trouble being a board member.
Yeah.
Actually
So
have to
it's
pay a
a
fine.
sobering moment. Yeah.
And we have an open seat. Anybody wants to go? Alan?
Or maybe the new one that gets appointed
Right.
will be able to go.
Yep.
And I would
And I'm
suggest,
not
Alan, that
going.
if you got the
So
time
there's
to
two.
go, just.
But you weren't signed up, were
It's
you?
very good.
Yeah.
No.
It's very good. But I realize people got jobs and stuff like that too, but it's Wednesday, Thursday, mostly for the workshops, and then Friday's the business session, so until you get involved in there, you won't understand that really. It's just basically, resolutions that have been brought forth to the ISBA, and they'll go over them and see what the direction is for the governmental affairs people and the chairs of the region, how they want to direct those going forward. And then the legislature starts up in January, so.
Okay. Aye, superintendent report.
Because my computer's about to conk out.
Do you need a plug-in?
I might. I'll probably be okay. Because then I'll be done.
Actually, have the same.
Yeah, I think we do. That won't be too long. Okay, let's see if I can get. All right. There's a couple of highlights. The bottom left is the simulator picture today. So some of the kids from the middle school were riding the simulator. And then I'd just like to highlight that Friday the 7th was the day that the teachers and administration and myself, we were in school. So it's an opportunity to be able to come together as a whole staff or a team and revisit our strategic plan. I think somebody mentioned that tonight, and just be reminded of our common direction, which we'll look at tonight, our goals and our vision. And then some key action steps that we're looking to take, so that we continue to teach and lead in a way that continues to grow our kids academically. And then a huge highlight is tomorrow, the American Legion and a lot of our local veterans that are going to be visiting our schools. So, thanks, Paul. That's a picture from, well, I guess 2 years ago.
Oh, yeah, the upriver.
Yeah. That same crew is going tomorrow.
Right.
December 8th is not highlighted, so there's some calendar dates that you might want to touch base about while we're here. Today's our regular board meeting, tomorrow's Veterans Day. We have our family and school conferences coming up the end of this week. They start in the evening and they're also on Friday. And our high schools are joining us with those conferences, so we're excited about that outreach. Thanksgiving holiday is important to know. So then we've got 24th is when we would typically have, it's our 4th Monday of the month, our policy meeting. It's a time we could swear in, or you could swear in the new Zone 5 candidate. You could also do November 17th. What it's by policy and by statute, in the next 10 days after tonight, if you do appoint somebody, you would need to turn around in those 10 days and
Right, so we'll have to have a special board meeting
yeah,
for that.
so that could either be next Monday, the 17th, or it could be November 24th.
Can we do it tonight?
The one meeting a
No.
month. I think I read off 4 in the last
They didn't recommend that
minutes.
in the
Yeah.
board clerk manual.
To do it at the same time?
Yeah, I don't know why, but we didn't recommend it. And we don't have it on the agenda.
Oh, okay. See, you forgot an important date, November 17th, first day we start working out high school wrestling on.
That is, yeah, wrestling starts.
I know, I missed an important date, I know.
That's like highlight.
And the training doesn't take that long.
So we could do the 17th, which would be next Monday, or you could do 24th. I'll let Kenny can reach out to you all. Do you have a preference? Off the top of your heads? It's
Not the 17th.
Not the 17th,
Okay.
Josh says, okay. Beth?
Don't matter to me, there's no dots on my calendar yet.
There will be.
No.
All right. Typically, you plan for a meeting on the 24th, so that's probably good.
Right.
That's our that's our 10th. All right. Then, I just wanted to throw this in here. At our next board meeting, I can have some of the information as I start to gather some of that input for the 4-day school week.
Mm-hmm.
So the surveys are out there. I have some information from staff. I have quite a bit from parents, and community is slowly trickling in, but this gives us time to send the survey back out. And then I just said it would be on the December and January agenda for discussion.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was looking at Kellogg's, and their schedule goes further into the summer, at least a week. They
It
graduate-
could,
Yeah, they graduate
yeah.
at the beginning of June.
I mean, a lot of the comments, particularly from parents, well, there's probably some community in there. There's about 192 so far. Staff has been mixed a little bit. From the 192 parents / some community, like I said, at least 68% said they were in favor. Some wanted more information, like what does the day look like? The day gets longer for sure. And then do you have the same holidays, or you pull some of those back so you can get in enough of your instructional minutes and days? Do you make the day year longer or not? So those are all conversation pieces. A lot of the feedback in good was it gives the kids a break, gives staff a break, good for morale, potentially attendance could be better, good for athletes.
Yeah.
Some of the disadvantages, just wanting more information, not necessarily disadvantage. What does the instructional day look like? What does the calendar look like? Are there any cost savings? When would the start and end time be? And disadvantage-wise, the big one was worried about less money for classified, if there's not a work day on Friday, and childcare. But I said we would put it officially on the agenda in December and January and be able to talk about it more. Just wanted to give a little preview.
Did the teachers comment on how the students would do? 4 days, was it 4 to 5?
No, we didn't really ask that yet. I mean, when you look at all the other schools that have gone from a 5 to a 4, academics becomes kind of a wash, because you're still getting your instructional minutes. You're still getting your state minutes or more.
Well,
You're s-
yeah.
So, you don't see 5-day and you don't see 4-day suddenly doing drastically better or worse academically.
I'm just wondering how the information was retained in the 4-day week. Of
Sure.
course, you got Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then you come
Sure.
back Monday.
Sure.
And, you know, so we
Yep.
have to start the engine again, or we.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Continue.
Yeah, good point.
Just a thought.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I have several friends, I mean, in neighboring districts, but also down in the Buell School District, spoken with, and that across the board, there's been, you know, and that initially getting started, a lot of hesitancy, bumps to kind of overcome, and then across the board it was, we would never do anything different.
Really?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because you miss a lot less days if the kids are playing sports, you know, because they can schedule a lot of the Fridays. You know.
And we don't have the athletic director here, but I'm seeing, it looks like a trend of where we're actually adjusting a little bit some of those days to meet our neighboring schools. A lot of
They're
our league
already-
schools that are already at a 4-day.
Correct.
They're adjusting their schedules to minimize the impact on their student athletes.
Yeah, so that's
And
gonna
we're
make it even
still-
worse for us if we don't, right? Because we have Kellogg,
I believe Bonners.
Priest River,
I don't know.
I have all that data to bring as part of the discussion for
Corfina's
sure.
4 days, yeah, so they're in our league, so yeah, they're
Mhm.
gonna be setting their schedules up around that, I'm sure.
Yeah, you travel to your farther competition on Fridays typically. And I have the
So, yeah.
number of games that would be per season when we put it on as a discussion point.
All right.
So I just wanted to throw it out there that we're starting to gather that information. And then just all the different ways we look to communicate. Either one way with information or two-way communication. And then it's always important to, in our decision-making and work that we're doing, right, is to remember our 4 goals for our kiddos. And we'll talk, you heard last month and this month a little bit of our results from our different schools. So we'll continue to bring that data forth to track and monitor how well we're doing in terms of our action steps of progressing our kids closer and closer to reaching each of these 4 goals, or really these 3 goals, and then ultimately our vision that we've established for each of our kids. So with that, I just want to touch base a little bit on some of our house program implementation facts. I guess part of it, first of all, just to clarify and maybe re-educate, re-clarify, that the parts of the house system that we extracted are the parts where we're looking to promote character, citizen development, leadership, self-discipline, and camaraderie, not just amongst the classmates, but throughout the whole school, and between the 2 schools, really. And so while it originated in the 1800s in Britain with the boarding schools, today the house system also mirrors our sports programs. So sports teams look to promote sportsmanship, being on time, hard work. And similarly, the house program also promotes good citizenship, hard work, and attendance. Our house program is promoting leadership and self-discipline, and similarly, and mentorship, if you will. And similarly, our sports programs also promote that leadership and mentorship, where the upperclassmen can be a good role model for the younger kids coming on the teams. And in schools, we want our 5th grade, for example, to be good mentors, leaders, show that self-discipline for our younger grades. And the house system is here to promote that strong connection, not just between their classmates, but throughout the whole school, their schoolmates, if you will. And same thing with our players on sports teams. Right? They have very strong connections with their team members. So I just wanted to reiterate, that's the part of the house program that the two schools have extracted to bring into Haber and Upriver, with the idea that the house system then aligns with our goals, particularly 3 and 4, to see that improved attendance, improved citizenship, and leadership. And with that, ultimately, the goal and outcome is, through that improved attendance, less discipline issues. We see greater attendance, like I just said, but also then it impacts academic performance. So then the program would support goals 1, 2, and 3, which is in line with our strategic plan. There we go, I just reiterated. And ultimately, a lot of the programs and instruction that we're using is supporting these 4 goals, and then the vision that we have for each of our kids by the time they walk across the stage. Some possible adjustments. Well, there's a lot of communication from the principals to gather input from the parents and different local community organizations. We also realized on our rollout, we needed to better clarify what part of the house program we were extracting. And that was what I just shared, the character side and the leadership side. In terms of implementation adjustments, so we have a lot of parents, a lot of kids, a lot of staff that are liking what they're seeing. And we've also heard some concerns and got some feedback from some community members. So we're looking at some possible adjustments. And if that means changing the name, which also means we change the symbol so that it better suits St. Mary's, we'll take a look at that. We'll continue to communicate and clarify in regular educational sound bites, taking input, adjust accordingly, inviting people to visit, and monitor closely so that we're ensuring that the house program is reaching the goals that it set out to do, which is improve attendance, leadership, strong connections, not just in the classmates, but across the school, and then improve attendance and ultimately academic performance. Some celebrations to point out, you heard some tonight. There's a lot of grant money that we've received, a little over $350,000 for our safety hardware and training. The HVAC and window upgrades to the buildings that's happening this summer. The new career tech, both equipment and the construction of the shop, which will allow us to have additional CTE pathways, career tech pathways, by next year. That's huge. We continue to see significant early literacy results, particularly in our K-3 kiddos. And Upriver exited program improvement. You're watching their data, and they continue to show remarkable gains, both in their student achievement, but also in their attendance and less discipline. A few other celebrations. Many of you have heard of the Bites to Go, and I'm going to come back to that one. But just the return and expansion of our visual and performing arts. It's huge that we have that to offer our students. There's a lot of our students that are in career tech. There's a lot of our students that are in athletics. But it's also nice, and we heard that feedback when we built the strategic plan, please keep a visual and performing arts program. So that's pretty strong right now. The Bites to Go program, you may have seen a little bit. IGA and Potlatch have been a huge partnership with that, plus the program Bites to Go, where it's just additional food over the weekend that we can give some of the families, some of our students. A lot of good feedback on the Bites to Go program. There was a little bit of bowling the other night to continue to raise money to fund that program. And so while Potlatch and IGA and Bites to Go funded the initial year, the different donations and fundraisers are coming from the community to continue the program, looking to run the program for 3 years. And that just leads into the last celebration of our strong partnerships with many of our local communities. And I'm going to forget some, but, you know, we have the Gazette, we have Boosters and Rotary, where the Gazette and Rotary support those character programs that we have in place, where the kids can earn pizza prizes or an IGA sandwich, also get their picture taken once they get a certificate for that citizenship or having a good attendance records, and that, as well as the MERC, that all comes from our local organizations, just recognizing the leadership, good attendance, citizenship, and then rewarding our kiddos in all the different ways that I just mentioned. And IDL for their labor to build the play structures, Potlatch and St. Mary's Concrete when it comes to materials, both for our playgrounds and our CT shop. So I really appreciate the strong partnerships with our local communities that just supports our kids in reaching our 4 goals and ultimately our vision for our kiddos. I just think it's important to recognize the celebrations along the way.
Absolutely.
And keep our goals and visions that we've set for our kiddos. And a report, unless there's questions.
Yeah, and on that playground structure, St. Mary's Concrete donated all of the concrete that we did on that. 10th Street donated sonotubes. Potlatch donated all the chips and a lot of the money for building this, you know, paying for the structures. Yeah, so the community pitched in a lot of resources to get that done.
Yep.
Well, I think there was a lot of
Sports complex.
a lot of support and time put into that thing, getting it to that point too.
Oh yeah.
So it didn't happen overnight.
No.
So, I just want to kind of go back and comment on that house system. I believe this is Stoll's class. Is that the reason why those kids done that?
And drinks.
That's one of the things that
Etiquette.
they're being taught is respect. And how you show respect and that you put forth, put your hand out, you meet someone and you introduce yourself and you listen to that answer back, and that's the ultimate respect to someone that walks into our school. Any person that comes visit our school will have that extended to them, that hand. Welcome to our school. My name is, and what is your name?
Well, I would say keep up the good work. Thank
It's
you.
pretty awesome.
Yes, it is. You don't find that everywhere.
Yeah, I was kind of shocked when we started our board meeting up there in Fernwood, and all of the kids that were there to do their presentation, you know, walked along and shook all of our hands and introduced themselves. That's really great.
Impressive.
Yeah. Keep it up. And bowling with a turkey is not like bowling with a ball.
It is not.
Yeah.
It is definitely not.
Is that the workshop?
No, it was down at
No, it
IGA.
was-
Oh.
We did
Yeah,
the bowling.
I want to say
We all
that
got
they
a
raised,
bowl.
they raised $6,000. Is
Yeah.
that what they said for the
Yeah.
bite to go?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
For the bites to go.
Yeah, and then they drew people that donated, and you got to go down there and throw a turkey down the lane.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, I got 3 pins.
Ask Beth how many pins you got.
Hey, I got a gutter ball with that butter ball. I am a better bowler than that, too.
Teresa, how
It
was
is
yours?
not easy. You did well.
In heels, I got 7 out of 10.
Yeah, you did well.
Ooh, the best.
I never bowled a turkey before.
It's
I
hard.
watched it. I never bowled a turkey before.
I had to leave soon after I left. Did anybody else get a strike besides that one gal?
The first gal
Yeah, the
that-
first lady
that
did.
went, she
Yeah.
got a strike,
She
and
got
that
a
was
strike.
it. Out of like 30 people. So it's difficult. Cool.
She made it look easy.
It was
Yeah,
hilarious.
she did. We're like, oh yeah. you just
Oh, no
knock 'em right
problem.
down.
We
Oh
can do
yeah, no
that.
problem. And we're all like, well set up for it, going, oh, okay, yeah, cool.
Yeah,
She set the bar high.
yeah, she did.
It ripped out of the bag a couple of times. Some people, it was hilarious.
Yeah. Yeah, they raised a bunch of money.
Yeah.
Helped pay
Yeah.
for the program.
Yeah, that'll pay for the whole year.
Yeah. All right, J, board requests for administration for board development. got anything for Teresa to work on?
I'm working on the 4-day input. I'm keeping the non-lethal policy in play.
Right, yeah, that'd be a good thing to look into. Panacea was talking about that
Mm-hmm.
when we were at high school there.
I think those are the two big ones right now.
What's that?
Those are the two big ones right now.
Right. All right. Action items. Review and consider a motion to declare the need to approve alternative authorization teacher to new endorsement for Kimberly Susan Keneally, yeah, for health K-12.
What was that?
Yep. So, want me to explain? So she currently teaches PE at our high school, and then when Brian Chase went on medical leave, we had a couple of our teachers take on a couple different classes. So she took on the health and just needs this endorsement to be authorized to continue to teach that class.
And is she working on that endorsement right now?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what this alt authorization
Okay.
is.
Okay.
Jody brought the motion.
Second.
All right, we got a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried. Review and consider a motion to release Brian Casey Chase from certified employment contract for the 2025-2026 school year.
With hesitation, I'll do that, but I understand.
Correct.
Yeah, for medical reasons, he asked to break his contract, obviously without penalty. So that's why it's here tonight.
I second the motion.
Okay, got a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. C, review and consider a motion to appoint a Zone 5 vacancy applicant. Well, you want to discuss it?
Sure. Computer it did a restart and now it's logged
Do you
out.
need this again?
No,
You want to see my hard copies?
no, I'm fine.
So,
Well, I mean, the first thing, appreciation for the folks that have applied. I mean, I think the last couple of months we've had 2, maybe 3.
right, yeah, we had 3. And now we had 6 today.
Yeah.
It's quite a change when we open up the whole district.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it just is a conversation. I know some of the things that we've been looking for is active engagement, time, in the area, in the community, being involved in the district and in some capacity. I think we've all deemed that as important to all of us. I mean, at least to myself, right? So, I definitely appreciate the last minute submissions. From my own take, it's pretty hard to do any sort of dive into somebody when you don't have much more than a couple of hours to look at it. Does the internet not work now?
No, it's working.
Anyhow, okay. So, any other thoughts?
Heather Wilcox is in Zone 5, so moving forward, we wouldn't be having somebody that's not going to be able to continue on.
Yeah. And a thought too, with being midterm, there is a benefit to stepping in with school board administration experience.
Right.
Other thoughts? Jody's a man that's thinking.
Yeah, I want to thank all you guys for putting in there. in the efforts. You know, my kind of thinking is, you know, somebody that's worked in the district before understands the dynamics of the district. So, yeah, that's mine. So I guess, yeah, I guess I would like, you know, personally see Vicky.
Okay.
Well, I'll make a motion that we appoint Heather Wilcox in the Zone 5 vacancy.
Any discussion, further discussions? Along those lines, I would second that.
Okay, got a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? All right.
Okay.
3-4, or 3-1. Motion carried. Okay. Review and consider a motion to adjourn. So moved.
Second.
Okay. A motion second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.